Hey there YouTube, it's Pocketknife Collector here with another unboxing video for you. I'm going to go ahead and open this package up with a Spyderco Delica. This is a box from White Mountain Knives. Let's see what we got. Guess I didn't quite get this. There we go. Oh. Sorry, I thought the box opened the other way, so I was cutting the wrong sides. Alright, so we've got two Spydercos in here. Spyderco has discontinued some models and they have been closing them out, and so they've had some discount prices on these. Let's see what we got. We got a Sliverax and a Police 4 in K390. Let's look at the Sliverax first. Okay, this is out of Taichung, Taiwan. Spyderco knives are made in several different places. They're made in Golden, Colorado. They're made in mainland China. They're made in Seki City, Japan. They're made in Maniago, Italy, and Taichung, Taiwan. So this one is from Taiwan. It's in CPM S30V, which is a perfectly good knife steel, good balance of edge retention, toughness, and stainlessness. But it is a steel that has been around for a while now, so people are less excited about it than some of the newer options, because they already have knives in S30V. This is a flipper, and it's on ball bearings. It flips well, closes well. Really ergonomic handle. You could maybe choke up here, but there's not really a lot of room for a finger there, and you'd have to be very careful because you're right next to the edge. But it's really meant to be held here. This is Spyderco's compression lock. So it's kind of like a liner lock, except that it has a little tab on it. Well, for one thing, you operate it from the back of the handle instead of the front. And then also it has a little tab that interfaces with the tang of the knife and pins it up against this stop pin. And it gives you a more secure lockup than a liner lock, the regular liner lock would. Yeah, some people have said that they find this knife to be a little annoying because when you close it, if you don't get your finger out of the way, the tab for the flipper tab comes up and comes into that channel where your finger is for the compression lock. But I'm not having a hard time with it, you know. Seems pretty intuitive to me to get your finger out of there before it closes. Spyderco is not known for flippers, but they do make a handful of flippers. We've got some here. So, for example, here is the amalgam. And the amalgam does hit me before I can get my finger out of the way there. So I'd say the Sliverax, in terms of operability, It's less awkward than the amalgam. The amalgam is a little bit bigger, closed. And then we've got this enormous Tropin flipper, which opens and closes fine. A lot of people don't like the fact that the sharpened edge is visible there near the lock. And I can understand why. You could run your finger down there accidentally and cut yourself. So that's been sort of a deal breaker for a lot of people with the Tropin. Although I think otherwise it's a really attractive knife. Got this big Persian profile and nice polished G10 contoured handle scales. Right. Maybe Spyderco's most popular flipper is the Smock. And it too is a compression lock flipper, but you don't operate the compression lock in the same way. Instead of operating it from the back, you operate it with a little button that pushes the lock out of the way. So it's a button lock knife, but it's not a plunge lock knife the way that most button locks are. And this thing flips and closes really well. It's not on washers. This is on, I'm pretty sure this is on, it's not on ball bearings. I'm pretty sure this is on washers. Whereas these other ones are all on ball bearings. All of these are from Taiwan. And then there's also the Akuchi, which I don't have, which is a slender little flipper. But yeah, I'd say that the Sliverax is less awkward to operate than the amalgam or the Tropin. And some people have said the detent on these is not great out of the box, but this one seems pretty good. I don't really have complaints about it. I like this handle shape with this sort of deep cut here. Reminds me a little bit of one of my favorite all-time Spyderco knives, the Shemp Kukri, which also has a deep cutaway, but of course it has that extreme negative blade angle, which the Sliverax does not. Like some of these other knives, like the amalgam and the Smock, the Sliverax has this combination. It's a laminate of carbon fiber over G10. So we've got a thin layer of carbon fiber over a G10 handle, which looks nice. I mean, functionally, it's not really any different than having just G10 handles in terms of strength and weight and everything. Just a little bit cosmetically different with that top layer of carbon fiber. Got quite a bit of blade relative to the size of the handle. I showed you that the amalgam is larger when closed. Let's see how it compares when open. Well, since this thing has a finger choil, it's got a similar amount of sharpened edge. So your ratio of sharpened edge to overall length is pretty good for this Sliverax. Centering's good. It's got a wire pocket clip, not quite deep carry because we're making room for that lanyard hole, which has got a tube. We've got some standoffs. Full flat grind, kind of a leaf-shaped blade, which Spyderco does really well. Should be good and slicey. It's got a little logo there on it for the designer. And we've got our little spider. Okay, so that's the Sliverax. This is not a full review, it's just an unboxing. Let's look at the other knife that came in this order. The Sliverax knives are on, they've been discontinued, so they're on closeout right now, and you can get a pretty good price on them. I think the price on this was well under $150. It was like $130 something from White Mountain Knives. And then here we've got the K390 Police, which is also recently discontinued. Police 4 lightweight. Oh, interesting. I ordered a serrated one, and they sent me a plain one. I think the serrated one has been discontinued, and the plain has not. Maybe they ran out of serrated ones. That's interesting. I'll have to contact them and see what's going on with that. The Police. This is the Police 4 that we've got here. I have an older Police in VG10. This one is fully serrated, and it's got a saber height grind and a swedge, whereas this is full flat grind. Okay. Let's compare that with the Spyderco Military. There's a St. Nick's exclusive version of the Military. Which is about the same size. The camera's on a little bit of an angle, so it looks quite a bit shorter, but it's about the same size. But this has a liner lock. The newer ones have compression locks, the Military 2. Compared to some other common things that you might be familiar with, let's compare it to that Delica I used for the unboxing. Okay. Now the K390 knives have a blue handle, but it's a little bit different color than the blue FRN for the standard VG10 models. A little bit different handle color. And let's see, I've got an Endura around here somewhere. Yeah. Here is an Endura. This one happens to be in ZDP 189, but in terms of the size and shape of the blade, it's standard. So yeah, that that Police model is big. It's over 4 inches, and should have good strength with that lockback. Full flat grind. Yeah, I was expecting a serrated one. It is oily and greasy right now, shipped that way because K390 is not a stainless steel. K390 is a super steel. It has extraordinary edge retention and very good toughness, but it is not stainless. So it will develop a patina over time, which could look bad, it could look good. And keeping it oiled is going to slow that process. Yeah, big old blade. Let's do a couple other size comparisons real quick on this guy. Here's a pair 3, quite a bit smaller, and a PM2, also a good bit smaller. And if you're more familiar with Benchmade, I'll throw a couple of Benchmades up here. Here is a bug out and a Griptilian. Okay. Put some micarta scales on that Griptilian, but it's the same size. And actually, while I've got these Benchmades around, I'll go ahead and show some size comparisons with the Sliverax. So here's the Sliverax with the bug out and the Griptilian. Pretty comparable to the Griptilian in size. And here's the Sliverax with a PM2. And pretty similar, actually. And a pair of 3. Okay, so there's a quick look at those two Spydercos. It's not a full review video, just first impressions, first look, unboxing video. Thanks for watching. If you like and subscribe to my channel, you'll see lots and lots of knives. All right, thanks everybody.